longevity. So it's a growing problem of the amount of people over there, and the actual treatment of women has been not necessarily second class, but third or fourth class, really. It is appalling as it is in any country, but there it does seem to, in the same way of your country, be intrinsically linked to religion.
Mm-hmm.
How to get around that, unfortunately, unless the people who are involved in that religion actually start promulgating more that women are equal and should be respected and stuff.
That's too easy.
Yeah,
Steven.
the only other way we
easy.
can go about this is to just get rid of all fucking religion. I mean,
that would be nice. That would be nice. Listen, I've even made this argument because most of the people that I know are somewhat religious. It's Pennsylvania. There's a lot of religious people still around here, and I'll say, ban religion. If you believe in God, you don't need to go to a church to believe in God. You could believe in God from your home. You don't need religion. You don't need those religious officials.
But how are we going to make all our friends know that we believe?
Yeah, exactly.
And where will we waste our money?
Yeah, where are we going to send the money? Because you have to go to church to drop the money off, and then they forward it. They Venmo it to God.
But what are you going to do with all those plots of land that you have the buildings on? I mean, you're only going to have to build some kind of
homeless shelters.
Yeah, homeless shelters or
excuse me, it would become a Walmart. Thank you very much.
It would become a Walmart
or a new Amazon warehouse.
Yeah.
So just exploitation of a different kind, then. All right.
Yeah, exactly.
That
I
doesn't
believe
get any better.
I believe that's
actually.
America's tagline. America, exploitation of a different kind.
Bring me your huddled masses, and I'll exploit them. Yeah.
Oh man.
Wonderful. So
soon on the Statue of Liberty, it'll just be like her winking and thanking all the poorer countries for sending the immigrants here. Thank you.
Fodder for the machine. Yeah. I know you previously covered about the Saudi journalist Jamal Khashoggi, who entered the Saudi Arabian embassy in Turkey in order to divorce his wife, and unfortunately, within a few hours, actually made her a widow. He'd gone in there, filing the divorce papers because they'd insisted that he had to do it in person the day before he was due to get married. Yeah. You see, they originally said he had left the embassy, which I think you covered, and there was even footage released of what turned out to be a Saudi Arabian embassy official wearing his clothes, his glasses, and a false beard.
Oh, wow.
Leaving the embassy. When that was actually unveiled as a really shit sort of cover-up, they said, he died as part of an interview that we had that turned into a fist fight. And then when the questions were asked about why the people that
usually do.
Well, this is it, yeah. I mean, there was a question raised about why they decided to take a bone saw to an interview.
What could the answer possibly be?
Well, they don't quite like answering questions. I mean, I know that Trump did say he was gonna force them to answer. But
I'm going to ask him so many questions as soon as I sell them all these guns. Then the questions, so many.
Well, he's pretty much said that. It's pretty much what he's been quoted as saying, isn't it? That he originally was condemning them.
I don't really do satire. I just kind of summarize.
No, you don't need to. That's a sad thing.
And Trump land doesn't need satire.
I have another question. So the thing that happened to that journalist, is that what the English refer to as chuffed to bits?
To be honest, I think he's quite cut up about the whole thing.
Oh no!
Yeah. And then I don't know if
he's obviously having fun though, because he's got legless. But you don't have to worry about him now. He's completely harmless.
Wow! What did this just become? Oh my god!
That's a good question. Yeah.
I don't know if you saw this today, guys, but the son of the journalist met up with the Crown Prince, and they did a photo op, and they just shook hands, and that was the photo. But like,
are they sure it's the son? Or
I
is it just a Saudi operative in sunglasses? We swear this is his son.
Yeah. I mean, we wouldn't know any better. I've never seen his son.
I just wonder which members of the family they've got hostage, really.
Yeah. Oh, man.
So, but hey, it does seem to revolve around, as Austin said, it's all about the money. Trump having originally said, "I'm not satisfied with what I've heard," and then later saying, "I don't want to lose all that investment that's been made in our country." Which refers to, as Austin said, the arms deals. So, and the murder has actually provoked response from other world leaders, as well as Theresa May, who allegedly is the leader of our country. And she, was so upset she made a strongly worded statement that didn't directly refer to Saudi Arabia, but did say about journalists being free from harm.
Why would you directly address the country that is directly involved?
That's not the English way.
Yeah, I mean, at no point in the statement did it say anything about no longer selling arms and military equipment through to Saudi Arabia that they could then give to terrorists that are attacking us and fighting an illegal war in Yemen. So,
oh my God.
She obviously doesn't want to give up those really lucrative deals, and because that's potentially one deal that she can actually make. She's not doing very well with Brexit, let's face it.
Boy, if she were around in the 30s, she would have been like, "There's those certain people, and they know who they are, who are causing trouble. We won't say what country, but they should really leave Poland alone."
Oh, you see, I think she's the type that would actually wage a war against emus. Well, that's the kind of leader.
Yeah, but they might actually win.
I think she prefers to wage a war against people who are disabled, for example, which is why the UN has actually issued a damning report saying that what her government is doing against disabled people in this country is illegal.
That's okay. They've called my country a third world country in many places. And I don't believe them. I told them we've done more than anybody else ever has at any time. And they were laughing with me because we were all so happy that I was doing so well.
Yeah. By the way, Trump, I know because you're obviously listening to the show.
Totally.
They can't be laughing. They can't be laughing with you if you weren't laughing beforehand. If you weren't laughing
the whole time. Look, my whole life has been one big laugh. It's a big joke.
Yeah. That's also true. It's also true. Well,
let's face it, you can't look in the mirror and not laugh if you look like that. Really. Yeah. That's.
Well, Stephen, that all sucks.
So yes,
the world is not much better than the U.S.
Yeah,
how about that?
Unfortunately, bringing closer to home the art of the deal that your president is very keen on, and the ability to make deals with murderous regimes doesn't extend much further for Theresa May because Brexit continues to be a complete and utter shambles.
Interesting. The Art of the Deal, the book that he didn't write, you mean? That's
the one, yeah. It's
okay, yeah. I've read it.
Well, you've done more than he has then.
Ever written.
It was bathroom material. I used it to wipe my ass.
Yeah, but the thing with toilet paper is you're meant to actually take shit off your ass rather than put it on.
Yeah, true. You know what? It's funny. It's funny that you mentioned that because I do remember wiping and nothing was working. I kept wiping and more shit appeared. It's like, wow, this is magical paper.
Yeah.
Get them out of here. Get them out.
Well,
yeah.
That's how you improve an economy. You just create more paper, don't you?
No,
of course.
Especially if it's money.
Yeah, that's. I think that's how the saying goes.
Yeah, so Theresa May went over last week when I was actually passing through Brussels on the way to Austria. She was actually arriving in Brussels at the same time to go speak to the European leaders about the whole Brexit thing, which she's only just kind of getting on board with now after nearly 2 years, which is a bit of a shame. But in the best tradition of what English people do when they go abroad. That if somebody, a foreigner, isn't understanding what we're saying, then the best thing to do is actually say it slower and louder. It can't be that what you're saying is complete and utter fucking nonsense. It must be that they're just not understanding what you mean.
Oh yeah, they can't hear you.
Yeah, that's it.
That's the case.
They're deaf. It's not that you're saying something stupid.
Of course. Yeah.
So she went over there to actually say the same thing again and again and again that she's been doing for a number of months now. That since she finally managed to sort out some form of proposal as a deal.
Right.
Now, she trotted off over there, and similarly to the previous times, whenever she's put this deal in front of them, they just kind of pointed out that it wasn't going to work. So they were meant to then move on to the next stage this week, where they were going to be having a proposal for the next full meeting to actually consider whether to accept the deal or not. But they've actually just turned around and basically said, you're bringing nothing new to us. Go away and come back when you've got something.
Interesting.
Because she's still got no answer to the Irish border question, which, currently she's claiming that they were using technology to solve that, which means putting up cameras to monitor people going across the border. And once you have the cameras, you'll need to have somebody to actually protect the cameras, because they'll just blow them up otherwise. And once you've got somebody there to actually protect the cameras, you'll need somebody to protect them that's actually, properly armed, like the military.
Look,
it just takes us entirely back to the 70s and 80s.
I have a much simpler solution. Much simpler. Just build a wall. It solves everybody's problems. Build a wall.
Yeah. Except ours. It hasn't solved ours.
Look. We're still trying to get Mexico to pay for it. We're working on it, okay?
Yeah.
Working on the wall. By the way, everybody gets a tax cut. Tax cuts before the midterms. Just saying. Yeah. I mean, Congress isn't in session, but tax cuts anyway.
Well. Even with that, most Republicans have gone on by saying that they're not interested in that because it involves the middle class.
That's true.
Because it involves the middle class.
What do they need money for?
They don't. Yeah, we're rich. We're actually richer than they think. They just...
Well, it's not like you need the money to go and buy their products, is it?
No. No, I'm sorry. Now is the time to buckle down and be fiscally responsible.
Yeah. Well, that's it. Yeah, and you need to make sure that you don't run out of things that you should be buying. You make sure you've got your essentials at least, which is something that's come up from the Brexit thing. That while Theresa May is over there, obviously not being able to make a deal, the various businesses over here have decided to start making proper plans public that they're doing in order to prepare for a no-deal Brexit. This includes a number of the car manufacturers having a close down for several weeks post-Brexit date, that they're going to, just because there's no point in producing cars that they're not going to be able to sell, so it'll be cheaper for them to just close the plants down and pay the workers not to come in.
Wow.
There's also the government agencies looking at it's basically the disasters committee that you usually have for what would normally in other countries be concerned with earthquakes and hurricanes and those kind of things. The disasters committee is actually putting together plans to prepare for Brexit because it's going to be that much of a success, and there's a certain amount of stockpiling of essential food and medicines ready for the weeks following Brexit, when basically we're going to be fucked.
Oh, wow. That's concerning.
Yeah, and just as a side note, I hear that in UK bookshops, they're preparing for the Brexit outcome by moving all the post-apocalyptic fiction into the current affairs section.
I was going to say, this almost does sound like the apocalypse for England.
It's feeling
for
that
England
way.
Specifically.
Yeah, it is very much feeling that way, and I'm going to be interested to see what my ration book looks like.
My God, I'm so sorry to even if you're joking, I'm so sorry to hear that.
Yeah,
I'm so sorry.
Part of me thinks that there's no way they could actually end up leaving the EU without some form of deal. because that would be so incredibly disastrous for the entire country.
It sounds just irresponsible.
Well, you would think that
it sounds irresponsible.
Even the Tory party, who are in government, even them with their self-interest